Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you from the Jim Nance studio deep in the bowels of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex to bring you today's Deep 3. As always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Man, if you haven't subscribed already, help us get to 4Gs, man. We're almost there, just a little bit short. Just won't you help us, please? Yeah, and give us the thumbs up if you're digging what we're doing, as always. And of course, let us know what you're playing today. How you playing that national championship game? Are you tailing me? Are you fading me? Have you got something else going on? How about those baseball plays? How about a little soccer? Can I interest you in some soccer? Not much else going on. No NBA, no NHL, as we all concentrate on the hardwood tonight in the college game. So, of course, don't forget to check out all of our deep dives over at winnersandwhiners.com, statsalt.com. If you haven't been there yet, what are you waiting for, man? It's a fantastic resource. It's going to become a part of your regular toolkit, I guarantee it. So go over there and check that out, Winners and Whiners and statsalt.com. All right, quick recap of yesterday's action. On the Deep 3, we went 2-1 as we had Detroit over the Kansas City Royals. Royals lost it in unusual fashion. The bullpen actually did their job, but they still lose 3-1 because why? Well, there's the Royals. And we had the Toronto-Cleveland under. That was a fine play. That one came in for us with no problemos. And we absolutely got the screw job as we had Miami. We capped it at 7.5. It was pretty much 6.5 or 7 by game time. And it was, just absolutely brutal. The Toronto Raptors never were ahead by over the point spread for the entire game until when? The last 13 seconds of overtime as Miami fouled Toronto after a defensive rebound down 6 points with 13 seconds left. Yippee! That's a brutal beat as we capped it right, and ball just, if you'll excuse a pun, it didn't bounce our way. And on the premium side, we go 1-2. We had this San Antonio Cleveland over, and the Cleveland Cavaliers actually had been scoring between 104 and 114 points in about 10 straight. Of course, they put up in the 80s in this one. So, horrible job by a horrible team. We also had Milwaukee and Chicago, and they were clipping right along. They were about to run an inning. We were kind of where we needed to be in the late innings, and then lo and behold, they bring Josh Hader in to close the game out with a 4-2 lead with 1 out in the 7th inning. Holy shit, he gets an 8-out save. This guy is the real deal. He is a stud, and that pretty much turned off the spigot for the Chicago Cubs. Milwaukee said, you know what, we think 4 runs is enough, and they were right as we lose the over there. And then we backed Mighty Max Scherzer, a product of the University of Missouri, in the first 5 against the Mets and Zach Wheeler, and Washington hung up a 5 spot in the 2nd inning. The Mets were able to scratch out 1 run in 5 innings against Mighty Max, and that was an easy victory. So 2-1 on the Deep 3, 1-2 on the premium side, and let's take a look at tonight's game, shall we? I don't know if you guys heard or not. There's a national championship game. Hey, how about that? It features the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Virginia Cavaliers. Guys, I'm taking a look at the total. I've got it still at 118 as this went to press. I feel like a sucker, but I've got to play the under. You know, I wanted to find a reason to back the over and go a little contrarian. But you know what? Much like it took me a minute to get on Auburn eventually, I feel like I've been slow to realize what happens when really good defensive teams play basketball. Namely, this may come as a shocker to you, the other team doesn't score very much. Who knew? Texas Tech hasn't allowed anyone in the tournament to shoot over 42.4% from the field. And that, by the way, was Gonzaga, the top scoring team in the country. And no one, including the Zags, have shot better than 33.3 from downtown. Cavaliers, they got their own offensive issues. They average just 64 points a game in the tournament, not counting the overtime period against Purdue. Another possible bad sign for the Cavs. They did face Oregon, who ranks 11th in defense, and they put up 53 points. Give me Texas Tech and Virginia under 118. And at the end of this contest, you know what we'll all be singing?
One shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time.
All right, that'll do for the sound effects this week. Moving on, taking a look in the major leagues. Hey, speaking of those Kansas City Royals, how about Seattle and Kansas City? Looking at the total of 9.5 as King Felix Hernandez comes to Kauffman Stadium to take on the Kansas City Royals and Homer Bailey. Maybe you've heard about Homer. He's not good. I'll tell you what, you give me Homer Bailey, the Royals bullpen, and a Seattle team that scored an average of 7.7 runs per game so far in their 11 contests. Yes, please, sign me up. The Mariners are doing it with their bats. Not necessarily pitching that great, as they've given up over 5 runs per game so far. I like all kinds of over right here. I think we may have to change his name after this one to Over Bailey from Homer Bailey. Give me the KC Seattle over 9.5. And finishing it off with a play down there, or up there rather, in Chicago, as the Tampa Bay Rays hit the road to take on the Chicago White Sox. I'm looking at the number of 7.5 as Brad Snell goes up against Carlos Rodon for the White Sox. You know what? This is 2 pitchers with whips below .9, an anemic Rays offense that has averaged just 3.4 runs per game, and a decent Sox offense. It just happens to be facing the reigning Cy Young Award winner in Brad Snell. Last year, the White Sox hit just .236 against left-handed starters, and the cherry on top, well, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but Chicago is called the Windy City. And the wind, while not being very strong by Chicago standards, it will be blowing in at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Give me the under 7.5 in the Tampa Bay Chicago White Sox game. Give me the over 9.5 in the Seattle Mariners Kansas City Royals game. And, of course, give me the under 118 in the national championship game, the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Virginia Cavaliers at the end of the night. We'll be cutting down the nets, grabbing up our tickets, and heading back to the window. All right, let's take a look at the shout-outs here today. Appreciate everybody that shared their plays with us. I know I've had some people ask me about the premium service. There's the information that just magically popped up on the screen. God, you gotta love technology, huh? You know what that's called? It's called a blade. It's called a blade. Wesley Snipes, nowhere in sight, but that is the blade right there. Who knew? All right, so we're going to start off with Hammer and Hank. Hammer and Hank, I think he hit some money line parlays there, brother. Look at you, Hammer and Hank. I look at my sheet and I see all green. I love to show you my sheet with the green on it. Why? Because y'all can't. Oh, you actually can see the green. Look at that. There it is. No, see? All right. Nice job, Hank. He had the Golden State Warriors. He had the Spurs. He had the T-Wolves over 240.5. And he had I guess that was a live bet. Then he had the Dodgers Astros a money line parlay. He had the Heat over 212.5 in a live bet. He had the Tigers and the Nats. Hammer and Hank, he got out the whip today, and he whipped him some bookies. Nice job there, brother. Borno had all the major league plays here tonight. He had the Pirates, the Braves, the Phillies, the Tigers, and he had look at you. He had a 7-team money line parlay with the Yanks, Phillies, Nats, Indians, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the Astros. And Borno says, hey now, thank you, Astros. He hit that money line parlay. Dude, in today's video, you got to tell us what that paid. That was a nice hit there, my man. Borno on the board. Joan S. Said to give us a shout out from the deep depths high atop the Superman Daily Planet for Scott's Deep 3. She's tailing us today because work sucks up my time. She says thanks to Scott and Scott Jr. By the way, don't forget to check out Scott Reichel over at Scott Selections and make sure you subscribe to his page and the Stat Salt page as well. The Divine Greek says, hoo-wee, tailing us on the Deep 3. He's adding the Brewers minus 115 as well. Hey, Greek, that sounds like you went 3-1 today. Opa! Beautiful. Let's finish strong for another great week. We did our thing. 2 out of 3. So close. So close to 3-0. Couldn't quite get there. Stupid overtime. And we're finishing it up with Mikey B. He was on the Nets under 221. Very nice, Mikey. Well done, my friends. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today. Enjoy the game tonight. Let's do a little thing.
The time is short.
All right.
The road is long. In the blinking of an eye.
Oh, God, I love technology. All right, you guys have a good one. I'm going to go listen to One Shining Moment as I fall asleep. You guys take care. Look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. Don't forget to tell me what you're playing. And peace out, Girl Scout. Talk to you tomorrow.